All right, welcome back, everyone. 欢迎大家回来。今天是第167天 It is day 167. Have a few actually. I think I'm gonna write them out. Have a few characters as of late. I've been wreaking havoc. One of them. Oh, and I think I remember the two from yesterday too. I forgot. So we have Jing. No, Jing. And it was actually combined with Shen. So Jing Shen. Like spirit, essence. And Osha stuff. Ji. Immediately. And then there were two others. So there's three. Dai was one of them. Is to treat. I don't remember which vocabulary word it was, but it was definitely Dai. And then Zhi. Zhi. Zhi is relatively new. That's Japanese stroke order. Zhi. Right, it's the bugle and the ears. Which is a job. And those are the five. Okay, that were clogging up the drain at the end. Not too bad though. I think two of them are off chances because these two. And then these three, yikes. And that's a vocab word, so don't want that to creep up on us. All right, let's get into our lessons.
森林
Senling. Wait. I could have sworn I had Senling. Did I not have Senling yet? Huh. Alright, well, forest and woods is forest. Is a forest. 森林中有 something 多什么 多 something 生动物 wild 野生 and 许多 oh, I suppose I should sorta get used to 许多. This isn't the first time. Forest fire 火什么火火灾 Interesting. For fire.
森林身后
身后 Oh, ho is... Oh no, that's new. That's new going in. Sun ho. So deep, thick. Not sure how I feel about that. Deep, thick. Deep is used to figuratively describe something that is deep or thick. In other words, something that's substantial. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. 深厚的感情，深厚的感情。Fair enough. 深厚
身后，
深厚
丈夫，
丈夫 got the Chinese yard or height or like head and then the husband, right? The word husband describes the ideal husband in China, at least one Chinese yard tall. That's a very tall. That's a very tall person. Figuratively. 我的丈夫是一名医生。Oh, sounds interesting. 她的丈夫想离婚。Oof. Okay.
丈夫。
Okay.
既然，
既然 oh no, it's another sense. Okay, how do we do this? 既 is since. Oh, okay, that's fine. Since so, 然 okay, yeah, since so. The word since is a word used to indicate that since the situation is already like so, then something may. Yeah, now that. Oh, I kind of like now that. Huh. 既然天气这么好 ，Oh yeah，这么好。既然天气这么好，我们去公园吧，公宴吧，公宴吧。既然这么办了，你还是回家吧。Interesting. 还是 ended up being should. 既然你 I like this type of structure of speaking. Enjoy the having a conditional with a statement. 既然你不喜欢巧克力，就借我吧，就给我吧，就给我吧。Just give it to me.
既然，松树，
a pine tree, quite pine tree. 我喜欢松树的气味 ，the smell, the scent, 气味。松树。
森林，
森林。Oops. Okay.
丈夫，
丈夫。Oops.
松树，
松树。树。松树。
既然，
毅然。wait.
深厚，
然后 Alright. Thickness. Yeah. 厚度。The degree of thickness. 这块莫夫。I should know this one, right? 末板。这块末板的厚度是2公分。What is 公分？centimeters。公分。这块木板的厚度是2公分。
这块木板的厚度是2公分。
厚度，松林，
松林。Pine woods. Makes sense. Pine woods. 在松林里散步。
松林，阴森，
阴森。A negative forest. Gloomy. You know, that's kind of funny because gloom. Pokemon. Gloom. A negative forest. The negative part about going into a dense forest is how gloomy it can be. Not really, but it could be. It could be. 森林里的 something actually. Yeah, something 十分阴森。Totally or very. Totally gloomy. 氛围。Oh wait. No, never mind. On closer inspection, that is way. For surrounding. So 氛围. What is that? Atmosphere? 氛围. Interesting. And 十分 is interesting too. 阴森，
火冒三丈，
火冒三丈。This one, okay. Well, we did. It's you can come up with something before. If you are truly furious, you begin to shout out fire of anger. Oh, that's kind of cute. Fire of anger, and nobody risks getting within 3 Chinese yards of you. Oh, that's much better than the way I would have went about it. What did I say? Something. It is very risky to set. One would be furious if you accidentally set fire. A risky fire across 3 Chinese yards. Like set something. But I like this. Fire of anger, and nobody risks getting within 3 yards of you. Fly into a rage. That's very awfully specific. Fly into a rage. Alright. 火冒三将他听到这消息后火冒三丈。
他听到这消息后火冒三丈。
火冒三丈。Okay. I'm not sure. Probably the best time I would use something like or hear 火冒三丈 is probably in a video game.
火冒三丈，
How did ma work? Fail. Yeah.
既定，
既定 sense set established. Okay. Something that is established has long since been set clearly. Yeah, fixed. 既定。我们有一 something 既定的 compromise plus something agreement. Maybe we'll go with 互议 or 协议. Oh no, I should know 议 right? Yeah, I should know 议 but 协议. Oh, that kind of, yeah, that makes sense. Huh, that actually even sounds like agreement. 协议. 我们有一项定no一项 right that's 项我们有一项既定的 what is it 协议
我们有一项既定的协议。
Okay.
既定，
Okay.
厚度，
厚度
阴森，
阴森 Oops.
既定，
既定 Okay. Right.
火冒三丈，
火冒三丈 Okay.
松林，
松林 Right.
闭嘴，
闭嘴 Yep. 闭嘴 Close your mouth. What was it? Suck into boca? Suck into boca? Or suck in la boca? Suck in la boca? DJ. 给我闭嘴 That's kind of funny. 给我 give me shut mouth. 给我闭嘴 请闭嘴 ，Please shut up 请闭嘴，请闭嘴，闭嘴，我在工作，他叫我闭嘴，我没人 shut up，
闭嘴，
闭嘴。I think most of the time I've used the word "shut up" in a joking manner. Most of the time, I don't really use this phrase too often outside of joking. Extreme behavior is largely what I used, or extreme behaviors and exclamatories are almost predominantly used for a contrast or joke or ironically used. Most of the time for me. Not that I don't appreciate it, but it's hyper normalized on the internet, so I don't typically partake in it too much. Have plenty of other examples and exposure to it.
马尾，
Moe. Ponytail? A horsetail, ponytail. Sure, I got you. Oh, because it can be figurative. Not like a pony's tail, but a ponytail in the hair, right? Yeah. 那个女孩 Yeah, 那个女孩的马尾很长很长。
那个女孩的马尾很长。
女孩 OK
马尾，
马尾
公尺，
公尺 Why is that meter? It's actually that's okay. We just saw centimeter, right? Oh, didn't they switch up 尺? It was gung something else, like gung wei or something. Gung 尺 for meter. Okay. I think gung is where like it's a public unit. So lots of gungs with point of measure. If you like any, not just distance or length. If you find a ruler in public in most places in the world, chances are it is a gung shi long in like a meter. Gung shi. That might be tough. This is gonna be tough. Measurements, like grammar related things come up pretty early on, and then like height, depth, that stuff gonna be tough. I'm already starting to experience it in Japanese too. We're like, all right, you gotta use these things, and well, it's a little bit tough because I bounce between imperial and metric a lot, back and forth. It's whatever is appropriate. So this stuff gets halved, and then even then I feel when it comes to observable metrics like these things, they don't come up very often. Like I don't remember the last time someone used meters to talk to me about something. I've talked about like kilometers, but I'm not even sure what kilometers are. And it's very different than adding a suffix and a prefix to to this phrase. Like I will be pleasantly surprised if they add one character to 公尺 for kilometers. I doubt it. I really doubt it. And I don't talk to my parents about measurements at all. It's usually either it's long, it's short, you know, use relative forms of size, and then also use body language, right? Non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is quite effective when it comes to observable metrics. Like it's about this long or this long. It's longer than this. It's shorter than this. Right. 比 you know 比这段 right 比这段比这长 right 长比这长 or 比这长 more than this longer than this 公尺这条房间有5公尺长 I don't even know how long that is. Wait, but that's only one dimension.
这条房间有5公尺长。
Oh, that's 条 is 2, not 4. 这条房间有5公尺长5公尺长公尺
公尺训
That's gonna be tough. It'll be some growing pains. I already know there will be growing pains. What is... Oh, that's a new combo. I haven't really written that one before. Shun. Shun. A glider? Oh, that's not bad. It kind of looks like a kite though. Attached to the end of a sturdy cross is a huge special aerodynamic wing. Together, they form a glider. One just holds onto the cross and jumps off the summit, and the glider will let you glide down smoothly. Is this part of glider? No. I think we're also gonna write kite. Just because. Where there's a glider, there can be a large kite. It's fine. There's some pivot room here. If it meant glider, then I would be okay with it. We're using our legacy now. We kind of understand how components fit into this mnemonic system, so I have leeway in creating the thing on the spot.
训
Xing. Okay. Xing. A glider and a road. Alright, hit me up. Something about Professor X? Maybe... Oh, this might not... In the bathroom. Okay, that might be a problem. Rapid. Professor X is in the bathroom of the infirmary of all places too, where he is planning his rapid escape. Okay. The doctors there don't understand his mutant powers are not a disease. That's fair. But a gift, okay. He has a glider attached to his wheelchair and rolls them one side of the... Yeah, now come to think of it, Professor X doesn't have telekinetic powers, huh? I just realized that I've been using I'm taking some leeways on his abilities. And I typically think about like moving things with his mind, but I just realized I don't think Professor X has telekinetic powers. So, oh no, I've ruined the canon. He has a glider attached to his wheelchair and rolls from one side of the huge bathroom to the other side at rapid speed on a road of slippery soap he laid earlier. He zoomed past the other patients and nurses in the bathroom at rapid speed before launching out the window and down the road in the distance. Gotta fit in the wheelchair thing, you know? Although it is interesting that the doctors there don't understand his mutant power, given that he has telepathy. You know? Although that is one of his moral compass things, right? He has a glider just wheelchair. All right, let me picture this. You know what I'm picturing? I'm picturing Portal, the game Portal, and it was, I'm pretty sure it was blue, right? The blue paint. The blue paint was slippery. Oh no, it might be orange actually. Orange might be the accelerator. Blue is the bounce, right? As it's a whoop, off you go, right? Guess we'll try this. All right. All the keys are there, right? Mutant powers, wheelchair, but imagining zipping by the doctors and nurses taking care of the other patients, rapidly going by, slipping, speed on a with slippery soap, a path or a road of slippery soap. I might change this to way as well. Road and way. Glider. You just wrap it. Oh. Shinsu. Shinsu. Rapid. Alright. They're related. Useful.
训
Xing, not Shin. Xing. Xing Su. Okay. Glider. Sure.
公尺 闭嘴
闭嘴。
训
Xing. Xing.
马尾
Maui. Alright. Give me the other characters. Me. Oh, yeah. Mima. First password. Probably how we get me. Secrets. Alright. Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is in the bathroom of his house, sitting at the top of a slide that goes into the... Oh no, it's gonna be a hard thing again. Sitting at the... Because this is B. B is the left side, the right side, and it's like Bigfoot playing with a heart, sliding on things. That's kind of... But sitting at the top of the slide that goes into the bathroom, bathtub, he takes out of his pocket a secret grain stalk in the shape of a heart. Okay? That he carries everywhere with him. Where it is from, nobody knows. It is a secret. He stares at his secret heart-shaped grain stalk where he slides into the bathroom reminiscing. I got a different way to go about this. So Mickey Mouse is in the bathroom of his house. Being a Disney character is very whimsical. He's sitting at the top of a slide that's propped up by a very large grain stalk. And as he slides, it goes right into the heart of the bathtub, right? A very extravagantly large bathtub. And that's good enough. That's just done. Like, it just stops there. Maybe it's a secret, it's a secret portal. We can say it's a secret portal to a magical world. A magical underworld or something, like a underwater world, right? Or he's imagining himself being in a secret underwater world. I'm making a reference to Little Mermaid as well. Let's see. Secretary. Oh boy. Secret, right? Or book? Mishu. Actually, I'm kind of curious. What was ascribed to this? It's just book, right? Okay. Okay. Mysterious. Shangmi. Shunmi. God secret. Interesting. Oh yeah, me. Yeah, me. Pretty sure this ends up being secret. Although I don't have the other right one yet. Oh, they don't have it. Pretty sure Mima is password. Enigma. Oh, me. That kind of sounds like Enigma. It feels like Enigma. Secret of success. 秘诀. Okay.
密
So we have both the me's together. Me. Okay. Just imagine it. Right? It's pretty whimsical. You just see Mickey Mouse climbing this gigantic... I could even draw this. Man, I can't wait to start drawing some of these mnemonics for October. It'll be a lot of fun.
科
A plant. What was... Joy. I always have the pleasure of seeing Twitch bot spam. Thank you, low effort runner. I hope your I hope whatever your venture is crumbles into dust. Okay. So predatorily feeding on people's insecurities. Kermit the Frog is in front of the electricity plant. Oh no, it's another alright. Something about fruits and trees. This is super interesting. You like the mnemonics? Haven't seen this website before? I see. Are you interested in Chinese? Traditional? Even? Another maybe less appreciated thing would be this is traditional Chinese, which may not be as frequent or popularized as simplified Chinese. Kermit the Frog is in front of the electricity plant where he's growing some plants. Kermit the Frog growing some plants. I'll buy it. He uses an electric watering can because he's near the electricity plant, sure. Can to help his plants grow with some water. His favorite plant is a huge fruit tree that he has decorated with some electric lights. Okay, we're really leaning in on the electric for the electricity plant. So how does Kermit the Frog? Is it okay to imagine Kermit the Frog planting something? Yeah, I guess. He might pull out a guitar to serenade the plants. Alright. I got you. Alright. I think that's fine. 3 trees. 3棵树? Probably. 3棵树. 3 trees. That's awfully specific. It's not capitalized, so it's not a location. Interesting. Huh. Maybe it's telling you that it's a counter. What's a counter for? Counter for like vegetation.
蝌斗
Oh, measuring cup. Oh, hey, that actually lines up with the radical from Wani Kani. Oh no, wait, does it? Oh no, just kidding. It doesn't. No, ladle. No, not really. Doll. So we got the vanilla measuring cup component. Dracula is in the bathroom of Dracula is in the basement of the bakery. Okay, go on. Where all of the flour is stored. Bakery. He goes up in one of the big vats, makes sense, and takes a measuring cup and scoops up a bunch of flour. He sneezes and the flour goes out of the measuring cup and all over his black clothing. Black clothing is what it's tying Dracula. I was gonna say maybe he has a secret stash of like red food coloring. We'll say he's also measuring out some red food coloring. You're interested in Japanese and Chinese either? Haven't started learning anything yet though? Oh, I see. You're currently learning French. Hey, another French enthusiast. So you're honestly kind of scared of starting down a path that involves such a different writing style, but it's still super interesting to you, and you find yourself watching a lot of people on Twitch learning them. Oh. Uh, how often do you find people learning Chinese? I think they're really trending now, for sure. And then you have the French and Spanish angle, right? I am brushing up on my Spanish right now. But yeah, you typically have those pairs, right? French, Spanish, and Japanese, Chinese, especially from a English perspective, an English-speaking perspective. They kind of pair up very well. So, of course, you're on at the moment. Yeah, I totally get that. For sure. Yeah, I'm doing the Spanish thing right now. Speaking of French, have you played Clair Obscur yet? That's a wonderful way to expose yourself to some French. I played the French dub and then the English dub, but the French dub was very enjoyable despite not having any comprehension of French. So the sound, I usually pay and listen to the sound, the cadence and pitch of French. Pretty neat game to enjoy watching, playing, or something while also listening to French. There were quite a lot of clips that I got from YouTube that were shot to me from the algorithm on YouTube with French speakers playing the game. It looks, oh, not yet, but it looks neat. Yeah, I think this is my personal plug, if I am learning French, I would probably come back to Clair Obscur from time to time, like even doing a run or something, just coming back to Clair Obscur. I don't have such a thing for Spanish at the moment. You would have to go into like the bigger games to get Spanish stuff. In terms of Chinese and Japanese, like if you're on Twitch, you're likely remotely interested in some form of entertainment, and of course Chinese and Japanese are pretty trendy. Yeah, Chinese is trending a bit harder than Japanese at the moment, but Japanese is already like they don't really need to trend because it's fairly high. So yeah, this is are you using any form of SRS for French? I imagine French would have your usual SRS stuff too. I'm actually not familiar with what type of tools are out there or what's popularized for French outside of your usual talk to someone, grab a textbook, ideally go to a class, mix those up together. Yeah, SRS is this is my first time with SRS, and first time being like first time in my life, like, across the board. So I'm using a pair of apps. Wanikani is the Japanese SRS website thing, and then this is HanziHero, which is applying similar principles with SRS as well. I kind of do them back to back for just talking topics and picking up some vocabulary and character reading. Yes, you use Anki mainly, but in terms of just normal learning, okay. You currently use a Bushu and Speakly. I see. iNative for getting feedback from natives. Ah, I see. Pretty robust mix of things. Normal learning. I see. How long have you been learning French? Yeah, Chinese, Japanese, different writing system. Writing system, that is definitely can be daunting, but it's also one could look at it as part of the fun aspect At least I see it as the fun aspect. Kind of like learning a secret language, but it's a secret language shared by a, lar- a large population of the world. Let's see. Measuring cup. Okay. Okay. Measuring cup. All right.
斗
Oh.
巾
Jing. Like 围巾, right? For scarf. Owl. So Jing. Jimmy Neutron is in front of the infirmary. Right. Oh, and since you use Anki, right, this would be Anki. You can customize Anki to have a similar feel. I'm not entirely sure if there's an Anki deck that someone constructed that uses like the structure of this mnemonic, but this mnemonic system is different from Wanikani's mnemonic system, which is even closer to some of the Japanese decks that are available on Anki. And by normal, you just mean non-SRS related? I understand. You took French in, yeah, that's what made me chuckle when you refer to normal as everything outside of non-SRS related. Because formal schooling uses SRS. You took French in 7th to 10th grade in high school. Remember absolutely nothing? Oh, 7th to 10th. Okay. And you came back in it a little over a year ago and got serious about learning it maybe 8 months. Ah, 8-ish months. 7th and 10th grade. And then you came back to it a little over a year ago. So you're about to graduate? We went from, yeah, 6. It's actually pretty similar. Spanish was a little later for me. So Spanish was like ninth grade to 9th, 10th, 11th. And then I took Spanish in college. Oh, you came back. Oh, no, wait. Just kidding. I read your statement incorrectly. You said you came back in a little over a year ago. I thought you meant you came back after the 7th to 10th grade. So like you went from 7th to 10th grade French in high school, and then you came back a year after, not that. So that would be 12th grade. 12th grade, and then now you've been crushing it out for 8 months. But I get what you mean now. You came back from the current present. You came back a year ago. I see. And then it can be any number of years. 10 years ago, huh? That's pretty... So... It's 10 years ago. I see. Is learning French part of your curriculum or what you do? Or are you doing it simply for a hobby? What is the nature of your French interest? High school was 20 years ago for me. Or the end of high school. The end of high school was 20 years ago. I graduated 20. Yeah. 2 decades. It's been 2 decades since I graduated high school. Let's see. Jing. How do we get Jing? Jimmy Neutron is in front of the infirmary wrapped in nothing but a towel. One of the experiments has gone bad, Jimmy Neutron, and disintegrated all of his clothes. But why is he? Oh, and then he has some mild burns on his body. He limps, wraps in a towel towards the entrance of the infirmary. That works really well. Works very well. Mao Jing. Interesting. That's how you get towel, huh? And then yeah, Wei Jing. Wei Jing. Scarf. It's kind of funny. It's a surround towel, but surrounding what? Scarf? That could have been something like a towel.
惊 笨
Are you imagining a use case for your French anytime in the future or currently? It's just for fun. You always find it to be a beautiful language. You want it to be different in high school. Everyone's taking Spanish. Your French class has maybe 10 to 15 students. They moved 8th grade to the high school, but I guess technically 7th grade was middle school. You misspoke earlier. Oh. Wait, they moved 8th grade to the high school? That's interesting. Are we talking about the US education system? What was, I guess back in wherever I went, 9th grade was high school. That's interesting. And I don't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure 6th grade was either elementary school or middle school. There was that flex there too. Just for fun. So how are you do you have any plans on applying your French? I guess everyone was taking Spanish. That's true. I took Spanish not because everyone was taking Spanish, but more like there were people who spoke Spanish or in the environment. So I found it applicable. Back in my when I was younger, I was like the pragmatic kid, the Chinese raised American kid who makes decisions solely based on pragmatism, right? Nowadays, not so much. A very, very long story regarding that, but generally, doing things with the idea of bringing life and color, color to the everyday routine, as opposed to pragmatism. So Spanish, I chose Spanish because it had applications. Hence why I asked if you had any ideas in which you are going to apply your French. Stupid. Good. How does... I don't have a phrase for stupid. Interesting. I have a phrase for fool, but not stupid. I usually don't use words like this, so... Dumb and idiot, I see. Okay. Done. Oh, I know a phrase. Oh, I do know a phrase. And I think it's inappropriate. So I'm not going to say it. Unless... I don't think they're going to give this as an example, but we'll see. Bart Simpson... It's funny, Bart Simpson. Bart Simpson is in the bathroom of the infirmary where he finds a notebook. Right? Of one of the nurses by the sink with some bamboo hanging out of it. Okay? He gets a permanent marker and writes stupid onto the front of the notebook and steals the bamboo from it before putting it in the toilet. That checks out. Why he's in the infirmary? That's fine. We have nurses as a keyword, and then, yep, he's definitely doing something Bart Simpson-like. Oh, no, this is it. It's okay. It's not that bad. Like, bendan is the word I'm thinking of. Idiot. I wonder if this corresponds with baka. Or boku. Boka. Or bok. Something like that. Yeah, USA. Well, 8th grade is not technically considered high school, but they moved 8th to be in the same building. Oh, okay, that's what you mean. And they also changed classes to high school level classes. You hope to travel to France someday and guess that be your application use? Ah. You can't work because you're disabled, so applying it to a job just isn't an option for you, but that would have been a neat use case as well. What do you mean by being, are you vocally impaired? Or I could imagine being an enthusiast, you could apply it like in a technological standpoint, or like a communication standpoint. Um, is there any other forms of impairment that impairs your form of communication? I suppose mobility would be very. I'm not entirely sure how accessibility works in France. I'm sure being like like a English, like a language instructor of some sort would be fairly approachable. Not that I'm suggesting you're interested in acquiring a new occupation, but the whole like comment about job isn't an option for you. Sorry to hear about your disability. Something that prevents you from being in a labor force, I'm imagining, as opposed to like a intellectual pursuit. I did think if you did think about possibly be a translator of some kind, but in terms of disability, you have a physical disability, no vocal disability. Okay. Yeah, intellectual pursuits. I'm obviously of, I don't know if it's obvious. I'm a service. I've been in a service position or an academic position most of my life, outside of like younger self doing your labor work. So oftentimes when I think of people with disabilities, I often have to ask them if it's a physical or intellectual one, because sometimes intellectual ones will disable you from applying to a larger range of jobs. But intellectual pursuits sound pretty nice. Maybe you'll be inspired by something. I'm not sure what the foreign exchange like a academic visa situation is with the United States and France. Times are kind of very tricky right now, as current events have also suggested. I'm not sure if you're a news reader or a current events person. It would be very difficult to be around the internet without encountering the current events of the world right now. The times are a little bit turbulent, quite turbulent. Yeah, Ben Dan. Ben Dan is definitely the one that I hear very
Ben
often. Okay, right. Take it, dump it, got it. Okay. Pull it, flip it, pop it. Sorry. Dunk it. Gotta imagine, right? Alright.
me,
To be fair, you were in the workforce up until 2021. That's when you were injured at work. I'm sorry to hear that. Is there any ability for you to recover? Are you able to have some rehabilitation and whatnot? You didn't do anything related to language though. You were an assistant manager at a gas station and an assistant manager at a grocery store. Ah, okay. That seems like honest work.
经
Any possibility of rehabilitation? Right. Okay. What was this? Yep, he's planting stuff. He's planting stuff. Electric water can. Yeah.
喝
And then, yep, he's going down the stairs. Scoop, scoop. Got it. Ah! Oh, I typed the wrong thing. And then... Right. What? Oh, I typed the wrong thing again. Hold up.
走
We gotta be careful.
笨
Alright. Alright, time for our reviews. Oh. 30 less. Interesting. There's chance of recovery, but you require surgery that has a high chance of making it worse instead of improving it. Ah. Yeah, that sounds like a serious gamble indeed. It was a back injury. You're currently still able to walk, but it's limited. The surgery has a chance to cause paralysis. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Sounds like, spinal related. Well, how are you going about it nowadays with your limited mobility? That really sucks about the high gamble. I don't imagine you're in... I imagine there's chronic pain in the equation as well. You do anything to... How do you go about your day? Like trying to enjoy your day, I suppose. What do you do for fun? Maybe raise the spirits. I know it's been, what is it? You said it's probably going to be some very trying year since 2021, really. Oh yeah, serious chronic pain. Language learning is kind of like an escape for you. Helps you not focus on so much on the pain. I see, I see. You do anything else? Maybe like engage in some French shenanigans. When it comes to French things, it's often coupled with Spanish for me, and I like watching content or listening to content from multilingual people. So people who like to celebrate multiple languages and cultures, and they tend to compare and contrast them. So there is this one guy, I keep forgetting his name, but he wears a jean jacket. The most identifiable thing is he wears a jean jacket, and he does a lot of French, Spanish, English, cultural, linguistic comparisons. And every time Spanish comes up, French is in the mix. So I might end up having some associations between Spanish and French over time, largely because of my use of Spanish. I think Chinese and Japanese go well as well. Not like in your face yet. There is some cultural reasons why you don't commonly find Chinese and Japanese as like content creators and whatnot, but from a diaspora, like people outside of China in Japanese, like your occasional Japanese something else and Chinese something else, there are often chances where both Chinese and Japanese will be in the same conversation. But generally French and Spanish play pretty nice with each other. So whenever I'm watching someone making like poking fun at French, then they would poke fun at Spanish, and then they would throw English in the mix, and it's very lighthearted, raises the spirit. You're a mod on another language learning channel, Twitch channel, so that's a nice distraction. Oh, French? Especially when he is learning French. Oh, okay, and can use your knowledge to help him. Oh, okay, okay. Interesting. another language learning Twitch channel. Whenever he's learning, what is, may I ask, what is this person currently doing outside of learning French? You say when he is learning French. So I imagine he's doing something else as well. That's kind of a neat thing to do. I haven't ever modded for anyone. Most of my private time is used to chat and largely do exactly what I'm doing right now, only minus the task at hand. So keep people intellectually busy, right? Where your body, like, I'm sorry if this might be a painful topic, but for myself, whenever I think what is the saving grace or silver lining when it comes to the human condition, especially when one gets older and or lose utility in their body, however the circumstances occur, the mind has a wonderful way of finding respite from the fairly sometimes can be depressing or morbid constraints of the physical body, right? The mortal body, mortal shell, if you will. So that's what I do most of the time. I spend most of my time trying to intellectually stimulate or stay intellectually stimulating in a manner. He does play other games, I see. He's currently doing a playthrough of Blueprints. I think Blueprints, doesn't Blueprints have, yeah, Blueprints does. He's learning other languages as well. His main language right now are French, German, Italian, but he did take a Japanese in college. Where there's one language, there's another language. Yeah, Blueprints. I have yet to cross the Blueprints bridge yet. However, I typically buy video games in 2 different occasions, and one of the occasions is in 5 days. So a Blueprint would probably either be picked up now or in winter, spring, or summer or winter. I did make an exception for Clear Obscure because I was tracking that game since its drop, like since its announcement, maybe like over a year and a half to 2 years ago. It was a very particular special title that I made an exception to. Otherwise, I play Like a Dragon games. Those are the games that I will be purchasing on release every time from RGG Studios, because RGG Studios have a running relations with a Japanese, Chinese, and English dub for all of their games. From henceforth, I like to think that the newest game, which is called Stranger Than Heaven now, they gave it a new title, or gave it a proper title instead of calling it like Project Century. Stranger Than Heaven, the game that takes place in pre-war Japan. I would be very surprised if they continue to add another Chinese dub, but if there's any developer and publisher, it would be Sega. Sega, along with RGG Studios, which is part of Sega, has done a wonderful job and like consistency when it comes to producing Chinese and English dubs with their Japanese dubs. So that's one of the biggest motivations and applications that I'm using both these languages. Spanish is every day. Like it's just encounter Spanish. American, right? Being American, Spanish, French. By coincidence, my family have a family friend that happens to be a French Chinese family, so it would be kind of fun to pick up a French phrase here and there. Last time that I was with them, we were celebrating Lunar New Year's, and I was introduced to raclette. The process of raclette. I forgot what the cheese is called, but it's used for it, and then he told me what the line was. I can't remember what it was in French. Sometimes it's just nice to listen to French. Like for me, French is music. Any language that I do not have a higher comprehension for, it's interpreted as music, melodic things. Do you happen to be a musician, like a musician background? I think quite a lot of languages, despite like not knowing what they mean or something, there is a quite of a melodic nature to hearing sounds and combination of sounds. So I don't know if this has any impact on language acquisition or like pronunciation and whatnot if you have a musical background. However, for me, it has often been, I watch French, German, and Italian entertainment, right? Media, and hearing things is a very sensational and visceral experience that you may have that is quite different when you do not have comprehension of the language. And Japanese have often been like that too for some time. It still is kind of like that. Not so much anymore lately. So it's a different transformative experience now. Chinese has been that way. My parents are Chinese, by the way. So being a heritage speaker, listening does not elicit that same mystique of hyper focusing on pitch, volume, and stress and cadence. Much like it, unlike a language that I'm not familiar with. So like Russian, Polish because of Witcher, among other languages. German, from media, for sure, and then a bit of Norwegian stuff. In terms of music, you were in show choir in school, but never anything professional. I was in the orchestra. Again, also and never anything professional. There's so many languages you're interested in aside from Japanese, Chinese. You're also interested in Spanish for obvious reasons. Yes, Italian have a ton of You have a ton of Italian family. Interesting. Polish have a ton of Polish family. Oh, and Swedish just because you think it sounds cool. I'm gonna sound like a dilettante here, a bit of a dilettante. The most Swedish I've ever heard was probably just PewDiePie. Like, and I'm telling you with a really grain of salt, the only place that I've heard PewDiePie speak Swedish was when he was a guest on Magnus Meatball, the mountain climber, who is a Norwegian, on one of his videos, because I was like watching mountain climbing and whatnot, and got into like trying to motivate myself, of course, to do what I can despite any physical limitations, right? Try to do a little bit more each day, despite wherever circumstances are. Like if you are able to walk a little bit more, right? That kind of situation. If you can take 10 steps, try to take 11 steps tomorrow, that kind of deal. So watching mountain climbing was it was like a kind of a emotional bump. And I remember a few phrases that PewDiePie said, and that's the only time. I haven't ever watched anything from his stuff, but it just happens that they cross over. And nowadays, content creators tend to be crossing over quite a bit. I think for Russian, and I'm not even sure if the guy's Russian, was that one Albert. I think he does a Slavic thing, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Russian or not. The pitch seems on point enough. Italian is probably this cute couple. It's a American Italian couple. What is his name? Aliso? No. Well, it's an Italian-American couple who like does food-related things. And then Polish. I don't think I have a Polish example yet. Like a steady Polish example. Yeah, I think YouTube is a wonder. Like having avenues for language is pretty wonderful when it comes to being strapped somewhere. The internet does offer quite a lot of ways to engage vicariously. Vicariously. Wow, you got a lot of languages going on. You play any video games? That's another hobby of yours as well. You were adopted, so you've done a ton of genealogy research on your bio family. I see. Probably have spent hundreds of hours on it. Even learned to translate Sicilian birth, marriage, death records. That's the extent of your Italian knowledge, though. I see. In terms of Italian, my post-baccalaureate boss in the government, like I used to do government research, and that mentor that I had happened to be a very, very proud Italian woman. And by coincidence, our co-worker, her colleague, and their student was my colleague, was French. So it was a French-Italian duo. I believe that old boss that I had, he was Jewish from some. I'm not sure if he did Hebrew or not. Bosses are boss. They're big guys. You don't have too much chatting time with them. But yeah, French Italian. Like one person was French and one was definitely Italian. One of my former mentors were. That was my exposure, like direct exposure on a daily basis for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. Being in academia, you kind of get very, very acquainted with the social norm that I am typically in our multicultural environments. Even to this day, I typically expect that I react and communicate assuming that it is a multicultural environment, and as opposed to a monocultural environment. You do when you're able. Oh, okay, so money is tight right now for obvious reasons. Yes, so if you can't play it, you usually watch someone on YouTube or Twitch to play. Understandable. You play pretty much anything, not too picky on genre for gaming. What are you currently looking at that is striking your fancy? Like what about recency? How is the spectating and the playing of recency? I tend to be a little biased towards recency because it's what's happening in the present that one should, in my opinion, should be encouraged to appreciate and enjoy in the moment. So what are you currently watching and or playing, or both, even tangentially together, concurrently? Sometimes I play the game that I'm also watching. Right now I haven't had the most amount of time to do so, but the most recent you played was Blueprints. Okay, and you convinced the streamer you mod to play after you finish. I just happen to know a little goober by sheer coincidence. I know someone who tangentially met through this type of arrangement, right, on Twitch, and this person is not a streamer, but they do watch other things. I told him that I would flex this whenever I have a chance, but he really got into Blueprints, and he, I think, is still the current holder of the speed run for % curse, because I think pretty sure he submitted a % curse and a % dare. I don't know what that means because I haven't played Blueprints, but he is the current world record holder for submitted runs for both of those. I have no idea what that means, but it's fantastic. I get electrified when I hear or know of other people who happens to know me doing just things that they love. And I hope you do too, right? Fictitious is what his handle is. He goes by fictitious. I'm pretty sure when he submits his things, it's also fictitious. Fictitious account, maybe the whole thing. But there's this site. I don't speedrun, so I'm not too familiar with it. It's just it's lovely when people share what they accomplished, and I happen to know them, so I'll most definitely flex them. Yeah, that's my closest thing to blueprints. He talks about blueprints. He shows some blueprint stuff. So, I will probably hit blueprints either if it's this summer or the end of the year. Yeah, I don't have anything particular. Oh, I do have things that I need to continue though. There was a DLC, a paid DLC drop for Dave the Diver, and it's been quite some time now. It's been a year since I last completed Dave the Diver, the vanilla base, and since then there's been 4 or 5 DLC editions. Right, Dave the Diver. It's quite a vibe. I'm not sure if you played Dave the Diver before. That's quite a cozy one. Sometimes I think games with cozy vibes can be very cathartic to escape, especially a game that can really remind oneself, not in a bittersweet way, but to escape, right? To escape. And I think Dave the Diver really captures a lot of that type of thing. Other than that, I do delve in like very, very depressing mental health stuff. Claire Obscura would be one of them. But another one that I talked about like 2 days ago was what remains of Edith Finch, which still sits in my the back of my cranium every once in a while. The people at Giant Sparrow knows how to spin a very tumultuous, emotional journey. You watch anime at all? Free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
Or
Fu.晚饭。
我们晚饭吃鸡，好吗？
whoops.
离婚。
离婚。
他们离婚了。
Oh, right, bureaucrat. 赢得。
赢得。
他
正午。
正午时最热。
实验。
实验在实验室进行。
Okay. Oh, I missed the G. Rule. 入境。
入境。
入境时请排队。
Or entry. Entrance should be part of that. We'll add it.
了。关上。
请关上电脑。
因果
因果
因果倒置，
I guess they could also do result. Result would be closer. Entry. Yeah, entrance. Entrance is. Whoops, that's not how you spell flare. 工资.
工资
他们在争取更高的工资，
Oh, that's salary actually. Or wage. Wage is closer. Dave the Diver is a neat game. You've only played the vanilla, haven't played any of DLC, but have watched others play them. You've dabbed in anime, but you haven't really watched much in a few years now. Okay. It was something a friend of yours and did, but we grew apart, so it kind of feels weird to continue. That's fair enough. You're obsessed with a manga and anime Agami Bachi. Agami Bachi. Okay. As a result, but they only made 2 seasons of the anime. I see. That's understandable. The feeling weird to continue. I think having a little bit of a meetup, you know, like Discord meetup and stuff. I try with like 2 other goobers like once a week. It's kind of like a book club, but like a simul watching book club. So those kind of things can be very wonderful little activities. Like the modern day, I call anime watching or watching together sessions, you know, just syncing watching or watch together stuff. It's like the modern day technological equivalent of having like a movie club or a book club. Are you interested? Have you been like considered the idea of like a book club or a movie club, or even like a language learning communities? Often like various closed language learning communities have their own particular way of doing like book clubs, where they're like, oh, read every day book clubs, or starting this book club. So whenever I think about ways you can apply, you know, like apply but still have a hobby, is that type of thing. So I'm probing you for background event. Hopefully you're okay with that. Probing you for particular points of inspiration to offer maybe some academic enrichment. If there's anything I tend to be a little bit more obvious about is, well, if you're physically not on the ball, then there's certainly room to be mentally engaged in things. And that can still keep someone very young and happy despite all of it, right? Despite all of it. Nowadays, I'm not even sure if people are mentally healthy. A lot of times. Start wonder. I watch anime on a regular basis as a form of immersion or application of the Japanese I learned. And then donghua Chinese anime tends to come up every once in a while as well. So those are my applications, while trying to like fit in with the cool kids, if you know what I mean. I'm a very big boomer. I think I've resonated with being a boomer in an American culture. I grew up in the American culture, like an Americanized culture, as opposed to like staying in a cultural hub. I was from New York City, but we didn't remain in New York City, which would end up being a cultural hub. My childhood before 18 years old was largely in an Americanized, like a double American, like multi-generational Americanized environment. So that led to certain behavioralisms that made me very different. So when I say I am a boomer most of my life until now, I'm far edgier now, being out of time and out of age group, than I was as a kid, because culturally Eastern cultures tend to have emphasized and instill certain value systems in the household that would be considered the characteristics of an adult Western Western adult, right? So whenever the kids were playing, playing ball and having, I don't know, crushes and chasing after, goobering around and shenanigans, I wasn't doing any of that. I was mostly, we had to get our straight A's, we had to study, hit the ground running with like jobs and stuff, and then when 18 rolls around, you go straight into whatever else. But then, because I left the nest, long story short, I've become far more acclimated with the reverse, which is all the stuff that I talk about now: book clubs, movies, extracurriculars. You can work hard, but you can most certainly also find forms of catharsis, self-improvement, self-satisfaction, while trying to maintain as much as possible the obligations of pragmatic needs like food, shelter, etc. You wouldn't mind joining a book club. You've also in some Discords that offer book clubs for language learners, but you're still not super confident in your French to read an entire chapter book and be able to discuss it in French. That's fair. I don't know if all those book clubs are that aggressive. And you're always able to automate and aid, right? Technology is fantastic for that. So definitely can definitely find ways to bridge that with technology. Technology has been such a wonderful boon in the language learning department, if I have to say so myself. I spent most of my years in formal education, and I have rarely ever engaged with the level of technology aided than I've ever done in the last like year and a half of language learning. I like things like this. It blows my mind how it's double-edged, but how aided and convenient these things are. Usually the reason why I say it's double-edged is it also reveals what a heavy reliance on these tools, which you might be suggesting also when it comes to your confidence and the application of tools. Tools aid in the connection between people, but it may not necessarily elevate or compensate entirely for one's confidence and or rigor in their comprehension. Maybe you'll get there soon though. Your mental health is all over the place too, but that has more to do with losing your parents. I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences. Grandparents and one of your brothers all in the span of around 6 years. That's pretty devastating. Well, I hope there are greener days and happier days ahead of you. And around 6 years, that's also when you got injured, according to the timeline you've painted. I don't want to be a bearer, but when it rains, it also clears up and are brighter days as well. But in this case, it seems like it's more of a when it rains it pours situation. I can imagine your mental health being all over the place considering the stacking unfortunate series of events. Is the streamer you mod for providing a maybe a source of relief or respite from all of this? Perhaps the internet? What do you do typically when you want to escape? What are there any specific routines that you have in place while you're trying to maintain I guess a steady mental health? I talk about mental health a lot. Sorry if that's a little too personal. Feel free to stop me whenever, like, you can simply say things like, oh well, I don't want to get into it. That's fair enough. I spend myself distracting distracting myself from language learning for the very nature of double downing and investing in people's mental health. Whatever happens in this moment can just stay in this moment. We may never see each other or talk again, but I like to seize the moment of providing, at least for the time being, a place where one can express themselves. Right? I think expression is very cathartic in various transformative ways.
吵架，
我不想再吵架了。
Okay. I can't spell Barrett. I don't want to talk about it. For sure, you definitely consider him a friend. Very nice. He's always willing to hop on a Discord call when you're feeling down. Awesome. Or just need a shoulder. That's wonderful. But you've lurked on my channel for a little while, just have never chatted, so there's a good chance you'll probably see you again. Oh yeah, feel free. Again, I have no other motivations. That is like, it's not a secret. It's not an ulterior motive. The primary motive is to do something and leave myself available for any type of conversation. I believe, in my opinion, regardless of the vehicles or the turbulences or tribulations of life that's being thrown at you, having another human being acknowledge your existence and being willing and invested to share experiences, leave imparting memories, and you just don't know how transformative that might be in the future, right? Someone can alter the course of at least your present life in many different ways, and I'm happy to hear that you have found that Twitch has become a source of connecting with a friend, a good friend, and I hope they continue to be a really wonderful friend. Otherwise, right, you can always you know where to find me. Obviously, I try to do this every single day, but language learning is a great hobby, but it also gives an opportunity for people to express. You're an open book for the most part. You find it cathartic to share with others. Exactly. And also I really get that impression from you as well, and so am I. So in the words of John Green, right, when open generosity encounters reciprocated generosity, magic happens. It's magical for both individuals, or all the individuals, or even a random onlooker. It's one of the qualities of the human condition that I want to naively and ideally hold on to. If it's not misery deserves company, is that sharing and talking about people's existence is cathartic in its own right? No, if one has to suffer with company, right? But that's like the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. The sky's the limit when it comes to the way humans interact with each other. It's kind of disheartening for me and disappointing for me, so I'm trying to push back on the idea that lots of current lives, the current life's conveniences, is kind of mitigating the opportunities to have online interactions or celebrating human interactions. So it's kind of a privilege that I like to double down on. That might come off as a little strong, perhaps a little bit personal for most people, but since we're out in the open about an open book for the most part, I feel like we've already had this similar empathy when it comes to, yeah, know where to find me. Say something, I will try my best. Give me 5 minutes and I'll give you 40. Give me a question and I'll give you a 6-hour digression. Starting with like a hot take, maybe. I've been getting a little bit better at giving people hot takes in case they're really only interested in like a 1 minute answer, but typically my discussions and whatnot go beyond that, and I monologue to myself for the most part if the opportunity presents itself. One can also exercise self-love, right, and self-awareness. Introspection is wonderful and powerful as well. Yeah, thanks for the candidness, Bree. Always appreciate it. Ren, what is that? We're gonna say
人类
全人类都住在地球。
人类. This sentence just says all of mankind lives on Earth. Or all the mankind currently lives are from Earth or are on Earth. Yeah, that's the extent of the vocabulary at the moment, or the extent of the context sentences.
打
Do you have any heritage languages, Brie? Being adopted, right? You mentioned you have being adopted and you have a large genealogy interest. Do you have any? Are you a heritage speaker of any language? I am a heritage speaker of Fujianese, which Fuzhou is a dialect of Chinese, and in China, when characteristically when the English people talk about dialects, they imply that it's intelligible. In this case, Chinese happens to be unintelligible. So the extent of dialects in China, they're colloquially referred to as dialects, is the word that I adopted. But generally speaking, functionally and mechanically, they are different languages. So Fujianese does not necessarily help me with Mandarin, which is what this is, and or even help me with reading. So I was largely illiterate, but I am a heritage speaker, which is where, like, you know, you have Anki cards and whatnot, and they read out the sentences. They basically go through one ear and then translate out the right ear as a form of like being in a multilingual household for so long. However, I'm learning to read. Reading and producing is something that is very deficient in heritage reading, in heritage speakers, and I am no exception. I am part of the large statistics. In fact, the largest minority group in the United States for these like extracurricular studies, like in linguistics and stuff, is the demographic that I belong to, which is Fujianese Chinese American, where diaspora tend to have this very coincidental heritage speaking aspect, and it's a kind of a field of linguistics curiosity for a very long time, where you can somehow intuit the language on speech by exposure to input, but yet may be somehow deficient in very specific aspects of language. Largely because this is interesting because language learning is a thing, and often you have theories and principles and methods that promote the whole immersion thing, but there's a very distinct caveat to it that I don't necessarily think applies to adults that are invested in a intellectually active way versus the kind of like trendy explainer where, oh, you just immerse and be exposed to it. That's often leads to passivity, and that's one of the deficiencies, in my opinion, that aligns with many heritage speakers like myself, where I can't necessarily explain anything nor understand specific things, and often illiterate, and also have production deficiencies because they offset it using common language. So my common language is English. So whenever I find a deficiency in my Fuzhou with my parents, I substitute almost immediately and instantaneously in English. So you have that classic thing that most people talk about: Spanglish, Chinglish, the idea of hybridization. And you can see these in like other diverse countries. Arguably one of the most diverse is Malaysia. And Malaysia has this type of instantaneous code switching. Alternatively would be multicultural couples. After maybe a couple of years, multicultural couples then would experience very similar, like it's to the point where they form dialects of their own with the hybrid of the two languages. You can also have like very purist approach where they segregate the languages. So like my parents could have been one of those groups where they would say only English in the household or only Spanish in the household. Then you would get the segregation, and that's when it differs, which is pretty interesting as well, where when you enforce early on a separation of language, do they ultimately inherit intuition in hybridization, like hybrid language speaking? Typically, no. But they're very proficient at the separate languages, though. So it's a very interesting topic that I have less experience with until now, until I've actually engaged in language learning again. Now I can contextualize it a little bit better. Like, why is it that my listening aptitude is far behind from my reading aptitude in pretty much most languages? Actually, Japanese and Chinese, it takes me an ample time reading things than listening to them, despite having dramatically different sound systems. Like, for example, the tonality of Chinese. In fact, my English is incredibly tonal. It's very identifiable because if you have an ABC or an American-born Chinese next to each other, they sound more like each other than they do someone who is from somewhere else. That does not have a tonal language. It's interesting. So many interesting questions. 重要
重要
我们在讨论重要的事情。
Not really. Not really. Your adopted dad's parents came over from a very small village, Czechoslovakia. Yeah, in Czechoslovakia. He knew a little bit of some kind of Czech hybrid language, mostly cooking related, because he loved being in the kitchen. But other than that, that most of the people in your bio family were already deceased by the time you discovered them, so you never learned anything from them in terms of language, really. What about your adopted family? Oh, wait. Oh, it's just your adopted family's dad's parents. Oh, okay. So then your adopted immediate family, your father and mother, or your family in the immediate sense are English. They're largely second gen plus English speakers. I have no knowledge of how that area has a funny, interesting family of languages, the Czechoslovakia region, but yeah, I have no familiarity with any of that. Interesting, a hybrid language. I have met a couple people who have the Creole variety, which is very similar, in my opinion, to the diaspora situation that I'm talking about, where the hybrid language becomes its dialect of its own. Like Fuzhou in the United States, the way they integrate seamlessly certain English words are not present in China. So that type of hybridization is probably what I imagine you're referring to when you said the Czech hybrid language as well, where regional things create a selective hybrid language later. You didn't have an adopted mother, only adopted father. Oh, okay. So your adopted father spoke English, yes, other than whatever he learned from his mother. Ah, okay. I see. So now you're basically just teaching your adoptive father French, right? What does your adoptive father think of French? My parents have, my parents always give me this weird look, like, why do you even bother? Like, I have to keep in mind, my parents are first generation Chinese, and Chinese are, for lack of a better word, they're most consistently incredibly pragmatic. So when they, when we're living in the United States, their question is, why are you spending time learning a language in which the United States do not utilize, right? That's kind of thing. It's not to say that they don't appreciate what I'm doing, but he's deceased now. He passed in 2023. Oh, okay. Sorry for your loss. Do you live, like, this might sound a little personal. Do you live alone? I hope you have other support systems like extended family, friends. I really feel a little uncomfortable knowing that with all the things you share that you might be a person who's trekking it out alone. I think if it's not too personal, I like it's a very reassuring if you're in like a place where there are other people, right? It's something that I wish most people have access to, especially one that might be overcoming and dealing with a lot of personal matters. Like, do you have any siblings or extended relatives that you hang out with? I'll continue this while I asked a lot of rapid questions. You're not obligated to answer all any of them. I'm just very very invested. Very invested immediately. God. Oh, no. Why? Why? What am I looking at? I don't actually know what I'm. Oh no. So. I want to say this is unfold. No, it's not. Okay.
餐 整
I have no idea why it's Jung. That's just a gut feeling. Let me see. Jung. How does this work? Oh. Power of mnemonics.
因为
因为火车太慢了，
赢
You don't have really any friends? Only the streamer aside from that? You're in a relationship, but they are autistic, so they don't really help emotionally. Okay. As for siblings, you have bio siblings, but only know one of them. Okay. You all have the same mother and different fathers, so many were adopted out at young ages. You think you have 8? Maybe 9? Wow, that's extraordinary. Obviously, including the half brother who passed away. Okay, okay. That is, What are your thoughts about writing about your life story? It sounds like a really I suppose this can be viewed in a very how do I should say, in a very opportunistic way. However, it sounds like your life story is incredibly fascinating, at least in my opinion. And uh, when it comes to like maybe potential emotional trauma or catharsis, right, or tackling such things, I think a wonderful form of expression, while also perhaps being opportunistically pragmatic, however you want to look at it. Um, writing something about it is something incredibly beautiful and transformative, and can be also pragmatically a way to apply your, making how you say, making lemonade with lemons, right? Like it's an extra your set of circumstances sound uh possibly even statistically extraordinary. What am I looking at? Nope.
玉米、
吃一根玉米，
导入、
这个国家最近导入了一种新的环保技术。
Thanks, Jazz. Hello there, Jazz. How are you today? All right. Unfu. What? Is that not what real is? Oh, no, he was in a suit. What? Cause? Oh, it's probably like cause and effect. You do enjoy writing. You kept a journal, but haven't really dabbled in writing a book yet. Your grandmother bio wrote poetry, even had a few poems published in a small local magazine. Oh, that's wonderful. That's a way to connect with your legacies. Good day, everyone. You kind of plenty of things to catch up on. Good day. You kind of have plenty of things to catch up on. Oh yeah. What kind of things you have? If you don't mind sharing, guys. What is this? What's that? Sure, why? Something. And help that I'm not sure what the right thing is either. You're behind in daily journaling by 2 days? Oh, okay. Nope.
鸡、黄瓜、
黄瓜很新鲜，
哪怕、
哪怕全家反对，他也要跟他结婚。
Even if, yeah, that's fine.
肥肉、
有些人喜欢吃肥肉。
奋力、
他奋力爬上山顶。
公园、
他们在公园里玩。
未婚妻、
我的未婚妻是我最爱的人。
Hold.
折断、
他不小心折断了筷子。
叶、肥胖、
如果你吃太多，你会变得肥胖。
What are you? Hold up. Hold up. I can get to the bottom of this, right? Oh,
外卖、
吃外卖披萨。
that's pizza. Okay, fine. Whoops. How did I screw that up? Oh, that's select.
挑选、挑食、
我年轻时是个挑食的人。
You're out to eat some dinner? I was just about to ask, are you gonna have dinner? Yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, Bree. Have a good one. I hope dinner is very satisfactory. Good luck with everything. And I look forward to our next stories. Like I'll try to build up a bit of stories. I look forward to the next time we chat. Thanks for keeping me company for a while. Good luck, good luck. Good night. I don't know how to say good night in French, but good night. It was a pleasure. Mucho gusto. We've met before. Have a good one. Good night. Oh, bonne nuit? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Hold up. Hold. Give me this.
Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit. Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit. Oh, I tried. Good night. Very good night. Buenos noches. Buenas noches. Oh. Okay. That's not bad. That's definitely a wheel. I swear it's like, oh, the other thing is wrong. Wait, is it? The other thing is wrong.
申报，
我需要申报货物。
Express report. Present.
又
Propose. This is a variation of it. To declare. Oh, report. Okay. So they take report. It's fine. I was like, present is okay too, and propose to some extent. Declare is what they want. All right. Fair enough.
阵地，
攻击敌人的阵地。
It is location or position. Not like a literal location, but someone's active location. I know that sounded the same, but not particularly. The kettle. 隔日
隔日，
他隔日跑步。
西瓜，
这个西瓜又大又甜。
免，一，南瓜，
他做了一道很好吃的南瓜汤。
No. Oh no, that was a little embarrassing. I got caught in thought.
香水，
喷香水。
That was a little embarrassing.
种族，
他是哪个种族的？
What? Wait. What? Oh, whoops. Okay. I misread that too. Why wasn't that correct? The two before. Okay, this is a little weird. Headdress, clips, paper clip,
圈，
chin. Okay.
警车，
警车正在追捕逃犯。
预约，
他没有预约。
不用，
你不用带雨伞。
Maybe like cause and effect. Okay, that's fine. They're both. It's 大丈夫です。没问题，没问题。No, está bien. Blah 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 blah. Yeah.
奋起，
奋起来，面对我们的问题。
美，议题，
重要的议题。
重要的议题。Talk, discussion, issue? It's probably issue. What? Hold on.
年幼，
这位老人照顾年幼的孙子。
Excuse me? I guess they don't take youth, they want it young. Oh, what the... What happened here? Oh, wait. No? Oh.
终止，
政府已经终止了这项计划。
We're terminating, huh?
胸，会，
that one's gonna get lost somewhere at some point. Who is it that gets encountered by that? Oh, right. Okay. Young and youth don't even. I'm not gonna mess around with that.
降水，
4月是降水量最多的月份。
Yep. Marvel rangeness. No. Wait. Legolas.
了，
Oh, Link, not Legolas. Link. This is
之，
of. Of. This is connected with the other one, right?
照， 戏剧，
参加戏剧社。
Yellow?
手，
What is that? Yo? Oh, right. Right.
落户，
我们最终在一个小镇落户了。
Oh. What did I say? Not discuss, not talk, issue?
家具，
这家店卖家具，
煮，
Oof. I keep misspelling pursue.
腰，之一，
这是我最喜欢的一本书之一。
Okay, so how did I screw this up? No. No. Wait.
夫妻，
夫妻俩要互相扶持。
影，
What am I looking at? YOLO. That's not it. My gut feeling failed me. Alright, I guess we're gonna Onyx for that one too. What happened here? Um,
批评，
我们必须批评政府。
绿，
oh, what? Wait. No Slender Man.
玉山，
玉山是台湾最高的山。
Okay. So what do we have here? Flowers, paper. I know you, and now I don't know you. Largely because I'm not entirely sure what the bottom left thing is. That a whole piece, or is that wood, flower, page? Why can't I have a sun block on this? Feels bad, man. Oh. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I almost have it. I will stay with it. Stay with it.
平，
Okay. Now I have no idea. Oh, this thing is weird. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this. Yeah, I'm not gonna get this from the mnemonic. I mean, we can try a couple times.
命运，
你相信命运吗？
武，壮，
Oh no, that's not it. Do I really only have one example of that? He goes over, he digs, he finds thing. Oh, I found it. I know what it is. I know what it is.
序
What about you? What are you doing? I want to say it's still yellow. Oh no, that's not the button I was going for.
不宜
这部电影儿童不宜。
流浪
流浪街头，
流浪街头。Ah, I missed the one. It's fine.
跳动
他的心脏停止了跳动。
家 倒闭
工厂倒闭了，
倒闭。Bankrupt. That's when we practice. 即使
即使
即使下雨，我还是会去。
even though or even if again.
猪
Oh, close one. Very close one.
标题
我不喜欢这部电影的标题。
It's not that. The problem here is the person, right? Making sure nothing is remaining, but it's the person that is not hitting right now. That's probably gonna be a block. Unless... Oh no, maybe I didn't type it the... I'll check again.
透 示弱
示
他坚决
弱。
不示弱。
Wait, what am I looking at? Wait. Excuse me?
痛，五
Oh, it is Wu. Okay, that's fine. I must have. Oh, I must have hit 1 instead of 2. That's okay.
破坏，
不要破坏公共财产。
破坏。What's another way to say broken? Damage? It's probably damage.
乡，东北，
我来自中国东北，
创，皮，试卷，
这份试卷很难。
弱点，
每个人都有自己的弱点。
星，
Yeah. ，Oops.
封闭，
这片森林已经被封闭了。
Damage. Break is fine. Broken to break. Oh, I didn't even write. Okay. Alright, sure.
冠，深，
Today was pretty good. I had a few sticklers, like 1 or 2, but it came out a lot more smoother than the last 2 days. The last 2 days were a little bit rough. We had dropped a couple characters that have been stinkers in isolation. And I just couldn't connect back. So not too bad. Not too bad. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Okay. What are you? A glider? You're a glider. Where are we gliding? Shin. Shin. Me. Jing. Ke. Do. Do. Ne? Do. And Ben. Okay. Sunning. Sunning. Jia. Bu. Song. Chu. 既然生呢生幼呢 wait no 后后生后 wait what was 生后 be profound yeah 厚度阴阴森阴森yep 既定火I can't read that it's I think it's 冒火冒三火冒三三将火冒三将火冒三将松林公尺闭嘴At some point, we're gonna get to insults or things like negative things you call people, and it's gonna be kind of weird. Like, we already got 闭嘴 and 笨蛋 already. Like, it's gonna come up tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. I'm like, wait, 什么 door 破 no 麻破麻沃 no 麻沃 no what Burn flag? What is this? Oh, no, 马尾.马尾. Alright. Okay, so we have Professor X, right? Professor Xavier, who has found himself stuck in infirmary. So he ended up escaping, running to the bathroom, and jerry-rigging in the infirmary. Right? Maybe like a psychiatric infirmary. And he's convinced that the people don't understand his mutant powers. So he jerry-rigged a glider, his wheelchair, to a glider. And set up this ramp, road, or a way, right? A way with slippery soap in order to make a clean getaway out the window onto a road, right? Wait, does that give me a rapid, right? A rapid getaway, right? Escape through the bathroom window, I suppose. Elaborate, but that's okay. Mickey is in his house filled with magical things. He went to his bathroom of his house, which happens to have a secret portal in the way of a slide propped up by a a very large grain stalk, which slides into the bathtub, into the heart of the bathtub, as a portal to the heart of an underwater whimsical world. You know, it's very Disney-like. Trying to embellish now. We've got this down. All right. So now we have Jimmy. Jimmy staggering into the front of an infirmary with nothing but a towel on because one of his experiments went wrong and he got kind of injured, right? Really straightforward, easy peasy. Then we have Kermit the Frog, who is trying to protest the electricity. No. Trying to kind of make lemonade with lemons, right? He's in front of the electricity plant. He's a frog, but he's planting things. He's planting things with the use of electric equipment and electric watering can. So he's planting trees and fruit trees to do what he can for the environment while also using electricity. Right? That's Kermit the Frog for you. Okay, and then we have Dracula working at the bakery. He's trying to give up his ways, his vampire ways, right? Or maybe masquerading among the living. So he made his way to the basement on his part-time job at the bakery. At the bakery. He has flour all over him, but he went downstairs next to the vat to go get a measuring cup in order to measure out some flour and pick up the occasional red food coloring. Your red, what was that red? Red 60, I don't remember, but there was a recent current events dealing with the red dye, right? The red coloring dye, food dye. Dracula, that's for you. All right. So, and then now we have Bart Simpson, up to no good. Made his way to the bathroom of an infirmary after pilfering a nurse's notebook that had something that's made of bamboo sticking out of it, maybe like a bookmark. He took the bamboo bookmark and then decided to write stupid across the book and then throw it in the toilet. Right. Serves you right. Mark Simpson. And yeah, that's it for today. Today was pretty smooth. I didn't see the recurrence of any of the 5 characters in any shape or form, so I'll have to wait to see how well an extra iteration goes about that. Yeah, that's it for HanziHero today. If you're gonna watch this later, 谢谢. As always, feel free to stop on by, initiate a conversation. I like having conversations. It lifts the spirit, right? And it's wonderful to have tangential things connect to other tangential things. I think being asked or asking questions and learning through asking questions and answering questions can be incredibly cathartic, especially for individuals that might need to escape into their mind, find the silver linings, the lemonade, the creative output, right? Certainly, I have met someone today. I was very privileged to meet someone who is very open about their adversity. Certainly adversity that I am not particularly relatable firsthand. The closest thing I have is I do have my immediate family. My grandparents have since passed, but in terms of like trauma and past circumstances, I didn't find myself particularly in those situations. But one great, wonderful way to perhaps find some silver lining and some light is having conversation with other people, right? I think it is not necessarily a demonstration of weakness a lot of times in these situations when you seek conversation and expression with others. It's in fact that the weight and the things they're encountering is devastatingly useful to share the burden sometimes. I think the ones that ultimately do not participate in expression and connection with other people may be incredibly strong until they're not, right? Again, we're not talking about the negative or opportunistic side of things where someone is deliberately manipulative and taking advantage in order to excuse themselves from, but I'm thinking more of the situation that I have the privilege of engaging in today, where that in that case, that's a weight that I do feel is very seldomly held and managed by the self. Oh, dinner has been successfully consumed. Yeah. You have returned. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm about to take a quick break before I switch over to Duolingo, my Duolingo Japanese stuff. So I'll be back in a bit. I hope dinner was great. More on that later. So for now, as always, you're always welcome to chat, you know, like spark up a chat. I like raising the spirits while doing these things, and hopefully other people find that very engaging. Or creatively inspiring so one can do it on their own with other people. So for now, for those who are only interested in HanziHero, 大家下次见, right? I'll see you next time. I'm gonna get up, take a quick bathroom break, stretch a little bit, walk around, grab some glucose. I'll be back for Duolingo Japanese. Thank you, thank you.